Today, we're diving into a video's take on the TSA funding stall. Was it a political checkmate?
The video kicks off with this pretty bold claim, setting the stage for a major political showdown.
All right, first up, let's unpack this idea. What exactly was this so-called political checkmate? The claim is Democrats intentionally stopped TSA funding, hoping to spark chaos in airports nationwide. But here's the reported countermove. Use ICE agents, who were already funded, to fill the gaps. So the source presents this as a pretty simple three-step strategy to neutralize the stall. And here's how they could have helped, freeing up TSA for the most critical screening tasks. Okay, so who does the video actually blame for the shutdown itself? Let's take a look. Well, the source doesn't pull any punches. Using this direct quote to point the finger, the allegation is it was all about politics, not policy. Just about keeping his leadership role. And you'll hear this term a lot in the source, Democrat shutdown. The blame is crystal clear. But beyond the politics, what about the actual workers? Let's talk about that human cost. The video points out that this is the typical salary range for a TSA agent. So you've got a really tough job, and on top of it all, you weren't even getting paid. This plea from a TSA worker at DCA Airport, well, it really says it all, doesn't it? But while the politicians argued, the source highlights how the public actually stepped up, big time. Take this pizza joint in Queens, for example, feeding over 100 unpaid workers for lunch. And it wasn't just them. You saw other support pouring in from all over. So, what's the takeaway here? The video turns all this into a direct call to action. It paints a really stark contrast, right? The people stepping up versus Washington's dysfunction. And that call to action was aimed squarely at the next election cycle. Specifically, it called for flipping Senate seats to get a 60-vote Republican majority, which really leaves us with this big question. When politics fails, who's left to find solutions?